So what's up? About to hang out with the homie Lester, Wallace. Talk about an idea that I think is really, really important for as many artists and musicians, drummers in this case, to use as possible. Everybody has to create something that completely flips the formula on its head and do something that you did not do before. But whatever's birthed during this time will last through this time all the way into the new norm, which will mean you'll have something added to your business. And this is for everybody that gets creative during this time. You're not just doing something to respond to the times, but you're doing something to basically create the new direction that things are going in, and the creativity that's naturally coming out of us right now is what this is all about. So I have an idea for drummers, um, especially those that really, really have years of experience and the skill level and the artistry in this case, like with Lester. And so, yeah, to really jump on this thing and to really utilize the technology that we're using right here, Zoom even, to jump into it. So I'm gonna get my brother in this meeting, and he'll be joining me in a few seconds. All right, let's see here. I might have to actually go to my text message. Let's see what happens when it comes in. I'm gonna click here you go. It's my first time I ever did Zoom while sending a message. So we have to see if that continued to record or if it stopped. Zoom is a really, really good program, and I would like to be a spokesman for it, as I am with many things that I believe in. So those of you all that are not using Zoom, you need to grab Zoom ASAP and get familiar with it. Here's my brother. Bro, can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know how I pull my face up. Or I just see you.
So look down at the bottom, right? And if you look down to the bottom left, the second icon should be the start or stop video icon. It's like
Okay,
the mute button. You see it?
Yep.
There he is. What's up, bro?
Hey.
What's up, man? Man, this is cool. So right before you came on, man, I started just talking about what we was gonna dig into or whatever. And the biggest thing is this, man. I'm gonna take it from the top, man. It's like I put up a post on Facebook, man, a couple weeks ago. I was like, Corona is taking our creativity to new levels, right?
Exactly.
And it was like #evolution, right? What's happening during this time, and the reason why I was so excited to even talk to you about this is that in order to respond to this, everybody has to get creative. The best part about it, though, is that the way that we're being creative right now, whatever you create during this time means that it's going to actually be added to your business when things go to the new norm. So you got to actually have something added to it that you might not have had before, because it was birthed during the time where you had to do something drastic to respond to it. And the biggest thing about this time is that in order for everybody to respond properly, you literally have to respond drastic. Like you have to literally do something that you would have never did before, and like in a whole different way, because things aren't like how they used to be, where you can just, like we know, even in the musician world, just go on like business as normal.
Right.
Gigs are gone.
Yeah,
right? Gigs are gone. You know what I'm saying? Functions are gone. If we was teaching in school, the shit is gone. Like, yo, everything is different. You know what I'm saying? So because that's the case, like I said, it literally means, yo, the number one thing I'm doing right now, in fact, when we get off this call, if you get a chance to check it out, yo, I've been doing nothing but comedy shit the last 2 weeks. Like,
yeah,
literally
I've been checking out the YouTube and the Facebook Live.
Bruh. And the thing is, what happened was, and this is why I'm even talking about this, because I naturally respond to stuff like this way. What happened is I immediately moved to like the next thing that makes sense in the moment. And so therapy through laughter, therapy through, inspiration, therapy through whatever, you know what I'm saying, storytelling is like what we all need for this time. So So anyway, man, but to get to the crux of it, I've been telling a lot of people various ideas for like their business or their idea to immediately respond to this. And when you sent me the message this morning, it hit me. I was like, yo, okay, so here's the idea. So you should do Zoom master classes, Zoom individual coaching, and share your knowledge. Like you sharing your knowledge should be the number one thing right now. And this will actually immediately get the wheels turning as far as finances and that kind of thing. Because you come to the table with years of experience, a huge wealth of knowledge, and one of the biggest hearts when it comes to music and giving and helping people possible.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to help you over this small technical hurdle, because once that's out the way, then, bro, you got a real easy, low-hanging formula. And that formula is doing these things over Zoom where people can pay you via Cash App for various aspects of this thing right here, man. Whether it's like everything from like how to hold a pocket or particular grooves or fills or context and situation, how to approach different situations. One of the things that Blue and I used to always talk about with you is that, like, because you're like a total musician, you think about the drums in a very musical way. So like each drum to you is like an instrument, like a tone, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. That's mindset. A lot of people don't think that way. So you have the ability right now to be like a real serious coach overnight like that. Because people would pay you whether it was $20 an hour, $25 an hour, like people would pay you for your time to like literally sit down and show them how to accomplish these things that they've been looking at you and watching for a while and just been like, yo, how does this dude do this? But it's because you're such a special cat when it comes to how you think and how you play that, like, for many people, it's like, wow. And so to have the opportunity for you to sit down and actually show them how to get that part, the part you can't learn in school, the part that you can't learn through academia, the part that's here, that's what you have the opportunity to do right now, bro. And you could do that shit overnight, because all you got to do is just have a real simple kind of like whatever works for you, whether it's $20 an hour, you know what I'm saying, whether it's $25 an hour. But the cool part is what it would allow you to do is in a real short time for at least between 4 to, I'm going to low ball and say 4. I'm going to high ball and say like 8. Yo, you could for 4 to 8 hours a day be making $20 or $25 an hour doing this.
That makes sense.
Really, really, really could. And then the best part about it is that when you do it on a platform like Zoom, you're able to record them. So then these would just also naturally be lessons that would be saved to your phone that you can just upload and start building a huge, huge archive as far as mentorship. The other aspect of it is that it would also fuel everything else in the future when things get to the new norms, because besides just being a musician and being known on the scene, now this would be another part that would be built up, which means you would have gigs, you would have all kinds of things that come from people running into you like in a different way than normal. You know what I'm saying? So it builds that, and you clone yourself, because now you got 50, 500, 5,000 Lesters that's working all to the same mission, because your message, you know, how you feel about music, how you approach, your genius and know-how would all be circulating and all bringing you everything that you want to from there. And you could do like how I did when I built my performance track business. You could build that whole shit right from a 12x9 room with a set of drums and a phone.
That makes sense, bro.
Real talk, bro.
All I needed was the know-how, like the start it up and put it. Because right before all this happened, I was getting ready to find like a place to start doing lessons. But all this transpired, shut that down.
Right.
But that makes sense now to be able to go live and do it that way. Cause I've been watching across Facebook, like Elliot Levine every look like every weekend he goes live, put his Cash App up. Another person I've been watching kind of like doing the same field. My brother, Mike Thomas.
Okay.
Local,
got you. Okay.
Yeah, local artist is.
Right.
He do the same thing. Right. He go live, promote his album, sing the songs off his album, and he do the Cash App field that way. I never.
Let me tell you this.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing that's been a hold up is the pride. When you're not pride. When you're not used to reaching out to others to say, oh, can you help me do this or help me do that? Because
bruh. I'm trying to tell you, I feel you. Yo, that's what I'm saying, bro. And that's the thing that's about to make you win. Cause yo, that takes a big ass heart, man, and maturity to be able to say that and know that.
Yeah.
You're right, bro. That's what it is. Let me tell you this, bro. Here's what you do, and what's gonna happen is I'm gonna give you ideas that immediately you're like, oh yeah, I know exactly how to do that. I could jump on it, and I'm also give you ideas where I'm gonna help you like piece it together, whatever, any part that doesn't make sense for you. So, a two-step formula, bro. One thing is pick one day, and I'm saying it could be more than one, but first start off with one for consistency and for simplicity. Think about one day a week where you could block off a 2-hour time where it's just you, drums, and going live. The thing is, I know that even if you might be able to do that more times than randomly, think about one time where you could say, this is the time for a particular kind of consistency. Because then what you could start doing is, if it was Monday night at 6, then you would start letting people know that Monday night at 6 to come hang out with you. It would be your regular, consistent time. They would come hang out with you for 2 hours. All you would do is just hang out with your people, say what's up, check in, see how they're doing, just the regular, basic human shit. Then you will move from that to shedding and to practicing. And in this 2-hour time, you would combine all of those subjects that I said before, but you would do it just naturally, whatever came to you in the moment. So whether it be like you playing a groove and you just think like, yo, many people don't realize how this pocket is, and you gotta, like, I realize you gotta lay in the beat this way. Or if it's like, here's a fill that I learned. Like, I remember when I first learned this fill, or whether it's like, sticking. Like, a lot of people, used to ask me when I was out, like, yo, how do you do this? And I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And I slow it down. And let people ask questions. Like, it just be off the cuff. Like, I'm here from 6 to 8. I'm just going to be playing, and whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to ask me, whatever you like, I'm just here. I'm just available. What that's going to do is start to build a community around you, because it's about music, but it's about human shit, or just hanging out, checking in. You could go on one of your rants about the shit that's going on. Like, it don't matter. It's just that it's all like, it's you in one space, just being yourself, and you're allowing for people to have access to you. What's going to happen there is, you could then, first of all, from that part is going to feed into the mothership of everything else in the future. And you could then be like, so if you want to support me to help me to continue to do this every Monday at 6 or whatever, here's my Cash App or whatever. If you value the tips, if you value when I put you down with the shit that they talk about on the news and shit that you need to watch out for, if you value, but it's that type of connection with you there, because of it takes all your gifts and all of who you are, and it really brings it out in one moment. Then from there, that feeds naturally into the part where you're like, yeah, so And this would be one way you advertise. You'll advertise a couple of ways, but this would be one because people would be hanging out. You're like, yeah. So also, you know, I'm doing this live stream, but I also use this and I do the individual, you know, the one-on-one thing too. So if you want like, you know, some one-on-one coaching or whatever, boom. And then what people will get a chance to do is learn from you every week for free in a live format that you orchestrate. So you're the one that makes it as valuable as it is. And then that would naturally pour into people wanting to connect with you one-on-one because they want to do that anyway. And that's the thing about you that makes it so good. But that would naturally pour into that, which means that 4 to 8 hours a day I was telling you about, where cats are paying you 20, 25, like everything from parents with their kids to just the homie who's just been following you for years and just like, yo, finally, bro, like, I know you were so busy before, so we didn't get a chance to share it. I know you wanted to give me the information, but yo, we here. Bro, what's your cash app? 20. I'm in, bro. 6 or 7, bro. We going and you could show. Bro, you would be making anywhere from $100 a day. I'm even say on a low ball end. Like literally, if you put this out tomorrow, you'll be making anywhere from $75 a day just on a low ball end. But really because of who you are and all the people that you touch and how this all work together, bro, you would be making at least $100 to $150 a day. And then the best part about this,
that's a good 9 to 5.
That's all I'm saying. And here's the best part about it. It's the 9 to 5 that you create and you roll on your own terms.
Yep.
Which is, you know, me and you, it's what we want to do. So then the best part about that, you could literally decide how many days a week and what hours you want to do it. And because of your lifestyle, it means that you could just do it whenever you wanted to do it. If you feeling it at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna be cats that's up shedding. That's like, yo, 2 o'clock in the morning. If it's midday and is somebody who they're like, it's somebody who's been following you for years, and it's a woman who's been following you for years, enjoying your music. And it's like, and her kid always want to learn. And it's 12 o'clock midday, then you hanging with them. They hanging with you 12 o'clock midday. You get to decide your hours. You could literally roll out of your bed and do it. So it's so guerrilla style, but I promise you, bro, it's just a matter of just making this shit, like this conversation, and just making it available. And then the wheel's going to turn itself. The wheel's going to turn itself. Drum, you know, it's easier to teach drums because of the fact it's such a visceral art that you being in front of a drum set and another drummer being in front of a drum set is enough. Like it's enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything can be translated. So it's easier than teaching keys. It's easier than teaching like whatever, because it's totally about feel, you know? So you got that part. And like I said, people, because of the access point is the fact that you're saying you're available on an hourly, like for our hourly basis. And all you gotta do is cash at me this. Boom, that's it. And you off to the races, bro. You're off to the races. You could put this shit up on Facebook as a text. Then that's what I'm saying. Like, because of your history and because of who you are in the musical world, you could put this shit up as a text and that shit will be blowing up overnight. If you grab a quick, like you make a quick flyer on your phone using like free flyer app or something like that, where literally you can just you know, it take you 10 minutes to do it, and it's just you know, replacing the fields with your name and with this few things, bro. It ain't even got to be like the best shit. It's just people are starving right now. Musicians are home, right? Yeah. Everybody's home. Everybody's home.
I've been doing a couple of lives, you know, on the church perspective, where people still having services, but the thing with that is a lot of the churches now are not even paying the musicians that are coming out. So the musicians that are playing are just playing because the passion, they want to play. So like looking at that platform, it's like what can we do with, once again, we not put on a platform where we are being used. Because at the end of the day, it could be your passion all day to play, but if you don't have the vehicle source, which is called money, you're not gonna be able to move nowhere. And I think that's the thing people keep forgetting, that money ain't necessarily something to be cherished or hoarded, but it's a vehicle to get other
There you go.
things
That's it.
done.
That's it. I've always said that, bro. I've always tell people I don't value money. I value the quality of life that money can get me. Like, that's it. After that, it has no meaning to me. And that's why I like, you know what I mean? And that's why this conversation is so important, because the thing I like about this is, and I've been telling everybody, I put up on Facebook like 2 days ago, I was like, I put up as a news alert. I'll send it to you. I was just like, yo, right now, like, pun intended, right now, there's nothing between us and our goals but space and opportunity.
Yep.
So with that, I was telling my homie the other day, I was like, yo, I feel for the people that don't do anything during this time and just wait for the world to start back up again and wait for the gigs to, yo.
They're going to be left.
Bruh, let me tell you something, bro. I was telling somebody about this the other day, because we don't think about this. We oversimplify it. Yo, getting the wheels turning back on the world again, yo, that shit is not going to be overnight. You take something as simple as a restaurant, right? I was telling Clarence this the other day about JoJo's. You take something like a restaurant. It's not just that all of a sudden one day the ban is lifted and then the restaurant starts back up and then they just like, yeah, so Thursday night we're going to have, nah, yo. First thing is, most of your money is gone if you even still in business. So the first thing you're thinking is, which staff members are we going to actually bring back in and who we going to fire? And then on those couple staff members, we have to put more than the jobs than they had before, because we just got to get the wheels turning again. Just because we're open again, it don't mean people are going to be flocking through this door. People are still afraid. Every restaurant is a close proximity place. People are still horrified. So you got that part. Then they got to figure out getting the schedule back in order just to get the operations. And then figuring out we can't be open 7 days a week like we used to. Because, again, just because we open don't mean the money's coming in. So that means we got to decide, okay, we might only be open on Mondays and Thursdays and Tuesdays, and the other days through Sunday, we just going to do delivery. That means no band. That means no artist. That means none of that shit. And then even after the people get back in and they just get the wheels turning on, like, okay, we're selling food, we're selling drinks, people are starting to relax back in, then they still got other stuff to take care of because they backlogged on bills and shit, so they don't have the other amenities they used to have. Yo, the last thing that's on the table that they worried about or thinking about is what band we're going to hire on Thursday night. And it's not that we're not important. It's not that we're not important. It's just that in order to get the wheels turned again, you got to put things in. It's a business. Yo, you building a business again from scratch.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They got to start over from scratch. They got to start building back up capital, all of that. So, like, yeah, there ain't no way they're going to be able to hire anything. But that's been my reason why I've been coming on Facebook talking about this virus. Like, the public don't pay attention to the code words that's used in media. And when I say code words, like the less desirables or the unfortunate ones or the elderly or those that basically ain't got the means to do for themselves. So when you look at the powers that be, and you got spokespersons coming out, they don't even have any type of accolades in the medical field, but they saying, oh, we need this to vaccinate. We all know what the vaccination can really lead to, but at the end of the day, it's a weeding out of what's going on. So all those that choose to stay lazy, all those that choose not to apply themselves, you're gonna die, and it's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
And it's sad when people, they hear me and they be like, "El, why you so cold? Why you so harsh?" That's the world we grew up in. The world don't care nothing about
right.
me
Right.
at all. So like it's like how you live. Like my biggest thing, and it's like people don't pay attention. Like I'm a researcher by nature, so I did like the etymology of corona, and it means crown of light or light. Period. So they had Donald Trump on a couple last week talking about the disinfectant and all this, but they missed the part where he said, "Oh, so can we just shoot them with a ray of UV light?" And I'm like, ain't nobody catching that.
Right, right.
And
So all you got to do is.
Other thing is, my sister been dealing with chemo for the last 5 years, getting radiation treatment. So every time she go through the radiation, she deals with pneumonia-like or flu-like symptoms after she come out, where it attacks her respiratory. So my thing is, they've been setting up the 5G late at night while people was in the house. They got the 5G now, not like the 4G towers where you had one every neighborhood on a high radius antenna stand with the satellites around it. But now they literally putting it in the communities every 0.3 miles. So you do put two and two together in order for the new world order to even where they feel like they can keep a monitor system on each one of their citizens. They have to set the auspices up that is going to allow them to control their public. So the 5G is being set up before the vaccination. So when the vaccination really started taking place, it's simple. Turn the chip on. It's already in them. We got the 5G up. Now they uplink. They online. And they don't want to just deal with, or we know where you are at all times. No, they want to know where you are, who you are, what
you doing.
you are. Like, it's that deep. Like, it's sad when people don't pay attention.
I feel you, bro.
It's sad,
I definitely, I feel you. And you know, we could go in on this, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause bro, it is real deep, man. And so this is the thing and so if we take this, right, this is why I'm saying that right now, anybody who waits for things and doesn't create during this time is going to be really, really, like you said, you're going to die. You ain't going to, and that's in multiple ways. Like, even if it's just like, for the sake of this conversation, like, even if it's just like, yo, now you thought that since restaurants were open again, that all of a sudden your gigs that you had before was going to be right back in. Nah. So what I realize is, and what I'm telling people is, and why this conversation is so important is like, you have to get creative and create new businesses, new branches of your artistry, new branches of things. The best part about this is that, and with this idea I'm telling you today, is that from a practical perspective, even when things get to the new norm and you're back on gigs playing, you'll find that you'll keep doing this actually. Because I'm gonna tell you something, with this idea, when you go back to making the money that you were making, being a live musician and a studio musician, what you're gonna find is you're gonna never hunger or thirst again, because this will be your foundation and everything will be built on top of that. Let me tell you, bro, I thought about this when I was like 16 years old. And I was in 10th grade and I was a hip hop artist. And even though I was going in that direction, I was trying to think smart of like the plan B if I didn't, make it as a rapper, right?
Right.
And so I was like, all right, the plan B will be that I'll go to school for audio engineering. So that way I'll still have a job that's in that field. And then I'm still doing what I love to do or whatever, right? So it's right in the same thing. That was the best thing I could have ever thought about, because it brings me to this point of this. It's like, the best part about this is, at that time I was like, if my philosophy was, even if I'm not a rapper, like even if me performing or playing is not what people want to hear or is not making the money any longer, people will always still need to record. They'll always need a producer. Like they'll always need people in order to have their dreams saw through. I'm saying that to say with you, with this idea, what this allows you to do is you don't have to depend on gigs anymore for it to be the main source, because people will always, for the rest of your life, pay you for this.
Yep, that's facts.
And you actually, and that's why I'm loving this, because that's the truth. You are the one that actually is the person to turn that key on or leave it off. That's what it is. That's what it is, bro. And so that's why I'm here to help you in the departments of whether it be a technical incompetence, whether it just be pride, whether it be fear around certain things with insecurity. I'm here to help you no matter what it is, because once you break through to that and get the wheels turning on this, it's gonna be the best thing ever, bro. It's gonna be the best thing ever. So yeah, bro. So with that, from a practical place, as far as getting started, and then we'll wrap it up. A practical place as far as getting started would be for you to do a couple things. This will be like the homework, right? The way that this formula works is that you have is 50% giving, 50% earning. The 50% giving is on the side of, and this will be the first quote unquote homework assignment. It'd be to sit down and figure out, ask yourself, what day per week what day and what time slot per week could I commit to being available for my mind when it comes to all things that I know with music and related to culture and these other things. Right. But if we say music is like the main focus and then everything else is like the extra added icing on the cake. And even if you say, well, I got like a bunch of times I can do this, you think of one time, because your goal from now on is going to be to make sure that stays consistent forever. So it has to be a time where you feel like it's always protected. Nobody's ever bothering you. Usually people are asleep, or usually that, like, whatever that time is, because the consistency is what's going to build this business.
Exactly.
Right. So you do that. That would be the first thing to do. Just sit down and ponder on that. And then after you figure that out, then the second thing would be to go ahead and put that on your Facebook page and contextualize it. First in the text kind of deal, and just be like, so yeah, I've been thinking about, some things. I'm really ready to like do some new interesting things or whatever. So here's what I'm gonna do. Monday nights, boom, boom, on 6 to 8. That's where I'm gonna be. My goal is to do this. Then the second thing you would do is go live and say that same message. Just talk to the camera like this and just be like, so what's up, y'all? So boom, here's what I'm thinking about or whatever. Here's what I'm doing. And you're getting the information out that way. You do it both ways, because you do it one for the reader and one for the person that's more video oriented. And also 2 times for the algorithm, because the more stuff you put out, the more chances it has of people being able to see it or whatever. Right. So that'll be that's the first thing to do. And then after that, then literally next week's like start it. Like after you figure that out, then after that, start it. And then from there, then the next part that we'll do is basically you just figure out what you want your rate to be. I would do a catch-all rate. I would do a catch-all rate, meaning like I would just do one rate no matter the person's skill or level. Mm-hmm. I would do one rate no matter the person's skill or level. And the reason why that is because if you set a middle of the road rate, say that middle of the road rate for right now, let's say $20 an hour, right? Let's just start off there. $20 an hour. That allows everybody to reach it, because a parent who knows you and from being on the gig, and they've always wanted their kid was learning drums and they always wanted them to have a lesson from you, would easily pay $20 for that. And then on the flip side, the most advanced musician who always wanted to know how you get that sound out of your cymbals that you get would easily drop you a 20 to be right in on you. So that would allow you to go from not knowing where your next dollar's coming from, to being like, yo, I got 5 slots lined up today. And the best part about this is that since every meeting is recorded, and since for the most part your deal from the very beginning, and everybody will be able to understand this, because they'll understand that your goal is to make a living and to help as many people as possible. All your recorded meetings you'll actually be able to share right away, which means that you'll be building up that content, and then that will be teaching other people, and then those people will also be hitting you up. Because no matter how much free stuff you put out, and this is why I love putting out free stuff, no matter how much free stuff you put out, it's nothing like having a one-on-one experience with the person where you can pick their brain for specifically what you want them to help you with.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that will always work in your favor. Access to you in that way. And so that's why you let that work for you. So yeah, bro, before you know it, literally after a week of doing this, you'd have videos out that's teaching other people and then bringing them your way. And then the people that you were literally helping and doing those things with will continue to come to you. And then everybody will be meeting you on Monday night at 6, because again, that's your building point. That's like the bottleneck, the river that pours into the ocean. That's the river that pours into the ocean of everything else that I'm telling you about.
Right.
That's it, bro. That is it. And like I said, yeah, bro. And everything else I'll help you with as far as the technical, but any question, just don't let any question or any insecurity about a learning curve stop you. I'll help you with all of that. And this thing will be rolling like literally in the next few days. In a week, this should be on and rolling.
I'm definitely gonna get on it. I'm gonna get on it today. Just the preliminary.
Yes, sir, bro.
Love it. And then as
yes, sir.
I send you a clip of the video I made so you can tell me what need to be edited or what I need to add it to it or what.
I got you. So I'm glad you said that too, because that'll be one thing. Okay, so one of the biggest things I like to do with this is help people to make it as simple as possible, because I realize the more simple, the more efficient. The main thing I'm gonna tell you is that the best part about this is that you won't have to do any editing. The best part about this, you won't have to do no editing, no post-production at all. Like none. Because your goal is everything that you need. The quality is in the content in the material, and that's the part that's going to work in your favor. If you teaching somebody something or talking about something, that being in real time with all the nuances, everything, like it all fits together. And this is how I'm winning right now, because once I figured that out, then I was like, oh snap. It's not that you'll never have like really like produce videos with a bunch of effects and all that stuff in the future. What happened to be it's a pillar of content that you're building, so there's levels to it. So I have content that I put out right now regularly that requires no editing, that allows me to put it out like that. And then I have other content that I push through another filter where I have it edited, or I have another time when I want to sit down and edit it for a whole nother thing. And most people let their whole equation stop because of feeling like everything has to be super produced, and it doesn't actually. Like, we live in a world now where your information and your mindset and your style and just the magic of that you'll be helping people to understand how to get in themselves as far as them finding their voice. That's the part where, that's all you, that part right there makes it where nothing else matters. It's the content. And the more candid and the more raw that is, the better for people. Because then they start learning from stuff that's edited out of like way over the top professional videos. Stuff like, oh snap, after you played that, I realized how one thing that I realized about you is, and you'll be like you'll be like just playing or teaching a fill or teaching a sequence, and somebody will be like, yo, the thing that I realized about you that I never knew that taught me the most right now was how you pause between the time when you're playing. And I see how you think about it like you give it this, and I never thought to stop that long. Like that's the stuff that would be edited out of like some other video. And so the best part, yeah, you won't have to worry about post-production. You won't have to worry about extra time spent in doing anything. It'll literally be present, like be a coach, be a counselor, be a friend, be a person that's right there. And then right after that, that same thing gets pushed forward and other people consume it or whatever. And then it just keeps it keeps going by itself. Yeah. So this right here, as soon as we hang up right here, I'm gonna send this to you, and then that way you can listen to this back and just keep using it, man, to build on that. And then from there, yeah, bro, let's just put these steps in place, man. Just let me know what your next question is, and boom, we'll just keep walking this thing out.
I appreciate you, bro.
You got it, baby. No doubt. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man.
I was just about to say, I wasn't going to hold you much longer. I don't know what you got planned throughout your day. I see you making something happen on the book.
Yeah, bro, look, the next thing you're about to see literally right after we hang up is crazy, yo. And that's why I'm saying all of this is responding to this time in converse ways, because that's how you make. So the next thing I'm putting up is going to be a flyer that says, "Meet me outside, social distancing workout," where we just come out to Druid Hill Park. It's the tagline is "Bring your ass, bring your mat, keep your distance." And again, that's one of those things where it's it's a thing that's a part of my formula that when this comes back to new norms, yo, I'll never not do that. That's going to feed gigs, the relationships I built there, the fact that I poured into people, the fact that people's like, damn, I always wanted to know how you did that. Now you hit like, it's just that part, you know what I'm saying? So that's the next thing you're going to see, bro, in a few minutes. All right, bro. Well, I'll let you go, man. And yeah, bro. Yeah, and thanks for this opportunity, bro. Because I know that even though I'm sharing with you, like for me, this is like what is nothing better for me than doing this. Because like I said, then even in the same way I'm telling you, then this goes forward, and then it can help other people out, and then it just keeps us all, moving in the right direction. So thank you, bro, for your time.
Man, thank you. Appreciate you, though. It's always love, bro. Always.
Always love, man. I'll catch up with you soon, man. Be easy.
You too.
All right, peace.
Peace.